Vigilante Episode 7 starts with the media reporting about the vigilante saving Cho-hyun. Many question if the detective and the vigilante knew each other. Mirio and Kang-ok watch the news, fascinated by everything related to the case. In the meantime, Cho-hyun lies in a coma at the hospital, and the police deduce the incident was a premeditated retaliation by a criminal organization. They assure the public that they will quickly find justice for Cho-hyun. On the other hand, Kang-ok calls Ji-young, asking him why he saved the detective. Technically, Cho-hyun is their mortal enemy. However, Ji-young is confident he can turn the detective into another vigilante. This excites Kang-ok, who is always fanboying over Ji-young. Meanwhile, Mirio drops by the hospital and is denied access to Cho-hyun. She leaves her well-wishes message with Chief Jae-hyub. Later, Chief Jae-hyub meets with his boss, Sung-chul, who plans to enter politics. Chief Jae-hyub promises him that he has everything under control. The recent activities have made them a bit antsy, but Sung-chul promises to soon bring Chief Jae-hyub out of the university president post and promote him. They believe they can withstand the hectic situation as long as Chief Jae-hyub handles it perfectly. Meanwhile, Samdu calls Mr. Bang, asking why Cho-hyun is still alive. However, Mr. Bang doesn't appreciate his tone and puts him in his place. Mr. Bang is already angry with himself for losing against Cho-hyun and the vigilante. Elsewhere, the vigilante attacks Samdu's men while they are moving their QQ coins and burns the house down. The vigilante donates the money to a well-known local charity. Mirio reports on the burnt house and the illegal cryptocurrency operations being held there. She also shows a picture of the vigilante's writings on the wall. The vigilante publicly called out Samdu, Chief Jae-hyub, and their hitmen, ordering them to turn themselves in. This is the vigilante's counterattack, and the donation is just the tip of the iceberg. Mirio alleges that the police refused to act since Chief Jae-hyub and the Seawool Company are involved. Mr. Bang watches the donation news and is pissed. On the other hand, Chief Jae-hyub is pleased because the media is starting to question the relationship between Mirio and the vigilante. His little flicker of happiness is short-lived when Samdu shows up at his house unannounced. Samdu is starting to get anxious as the police delve deeper into their investigations. He figured out who the money is for and wants some assurances. The police have already raided his buildings and are hoping he will avail himself for questioning. Chief Jae-hyub refuses to welcome him in. He asks Samdu to go to jail for 3 months and promises to make it look like he was caught doing minor illegal business activities. Chief Jae-hyub insists that's the best he can do. He, however, warns Samdu not to mention him during the trial and to take the fall alone. Chief Jae-hyub blames Samdu for failing to handle the threat and letting things get too far. Samdu gets angry and lashes out at his secretary. He sends his men to capture Mirio and torture her until she reveals the identity of the vigilante. Concurrently, Yoon-gil continues to look into the vigilante case. He wants to find evidence linking Cho-hyun, Mirio, and the vigilante. He decides to get a warrant and search Professor Yob's office. His officers start getting concerned about how to approach Chief Jae-hyub. Yoon-gil asks them to put Chief Jae-hyub's case on hold temporarily. Later, Mr. Bang attacks the woman running the children's home that the vigilante helped. This angers Ji-young further as an innocent person was caught in his fight with Samdu and his men. Seon-wook notices that Ji-young has been acting strange and receiving calls constantly. He starts observing Ji-young more and eavesdropping on him. Ji-young sneaks out at night and calls Kang-ok, asking him to protect Mirio as she will be Samdu's next target. Kang-ok feels honored to be working with Ji-young. He sees himself as some knight. As he carries out his mission, he notices that Mirio is about to be attacked when he checks her CCTV cameras. Mirio also realizes she is in danger and quickly places cameras across the room. She then turns on the live and shows her subscribers the attack in real time. The police watch the live and quickly rush to save her. However, Kamoke gets there first and is dressed like the vigilante. The only difference is that he is carrying a bat. He confronts the men, and by the time the police arrive, Mirio is safe. Now, Mirio saw Kamoke but doubts he is the vigilante. However, she tells the police that a random man saved her and refuses to say much. While all this was happening, Ji-young snuck out of school and took a taxi towards Mirio's place. He is relieved to see the police escort her downtown for a statement, and she is not hurt. After talking with John Gill, who is keen to know if she recognizes the vigilante, Mirio returns home. She runs a bath and thinks back to Kamoke's words when he came to save her. He asked her to be more careful as the vigilante worries about her safety. For some reason, Mirio finds this amusing and starts laughing at herself. The lights suddenly flicker as she enjoys her bath, and there is a blackout. Later, we learn that Mr. Bang kidnapped Mirio and is torturing her to reveal the vigilante's identity. The next day at the police academy, Jong Gil summons Ji-young during Professor Yob's class. He is curious to know Ji-young's whereabouts the night Mirio was attacked. Ji-young maintains his innocence and says he is allowed a private life. Professor Yob backs him up, but John Gill insists that Ji-young is suspicious. John Gill continues to push, stating Ji-young has a similar physique to the vigilante. After getting nothing from Ji-young, John Gill turns to forensics. He tells his partner they should wait to find out who turned on the cryptocurrency phone around the school grounds. He figures it was turned on briefly by accident. He is also waiting on the warrant to search Professor Yob's hours. Elsewhere, Suk-wook and Hwang-jun worry over the recent events surrounding Ji-young. Seon-wook is especially keen on Ji-young as his suspicions. It also seems like Professor Yob is already aware of Ji-young's extracurricular activities but is keeping quiet. Jong Gil visits Cho Hyun at the hospital and talks about correcting his mistake as a fellow officer. Cho Hyun immediately wakes up and starts preparing himself to get stronger. Back at the school, the boys get excited to have an afternoon off. Ji-young leaves to meet with Kamoke, and Seon-wook stays behind to help Professor Yob with his profiling app. Ji-young tells Kamoke that he set Chief Jae-hyub up. At the same time, Seon-wook calls Ji-young and informs him that the police are raiding Professor Yob's office. Seon-wook worries if Ji-young will be okay and is relieved that everything will work out. According to Ji-young, he intentionally turned on the cryptocurrency phone while in Chief Jae-hyub's office. He also found the phone Chief Jae-hyub used to contact Sam-do and hopes Jong-gil finds the evidence. Ji-young expects Jong-gil will uphold the law. Unfortunately, Chief Jae-hyub finds Jong-gil in his office and learns he has his phone. Jong-gil gives him some time to confess, but that turns out to be his biggest undoing. As soon as Jong-gil walks out with the evidence, Chief Jae-hyub contacts one of his people and asks for a favor. Before we know it, Jong-gil gets into an accident after a lorry hits his car and dies on the spot. Ji-young is angered and saddened when he hears the news of Jong-gil's death. He tells Cho Hyun that it is not his fault. Jong-gil died because he was an honorable cop. Cho Hyun warns him against going after Chief Jae-hyub and Sam-do, but Ji-young is determined to die for his justice. He is not scared of the consequences and gives Cho Hyun an ultimatum. To show him his kind of justice, kill him or step aside and let Ji-young handle business. The episode review. With one chapter left, Vigilante tries to amp up the stakes but still falls short. Jong-gil's death came as a shock but also served as a catalyst to motivate Ji-young to take down Chief Jae-hyub and Sam-do. It also shows Cho Hyun that his boss is capable of anything to save his skin. Ironically, Cho Hyun warns Ji-young against fighting Sam-do and Chief Jae-hyub, but he intends to do the same. I know he cares for Ji-young and wants him to stay on the upright path, But is that possible at this point? It would be more interesting if they teamed up to fight. Speaking of teaming up, we have Kaimoke who is doing the most to help Ji-young. We also have Professor Yob and Seonwook, who are silently helping Ji-young. I wish the writers had given us an honest interaction between these three. They could have fleshed out more about these characters and their choices. It is a tad frustrating that we still don't know Mirio and Kaimoke's backstories. With one episode left, let's see if the Vigilante wins this war.